high-tech engines meet high-tech oils.
Hello and welcome to round 4 of the Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix here at the Calder Park Thunderdome. It's the closest championship we've had to date, with a little over 30 points separating the top 8 drivers, so expect the fiercest battles of the season. To mix things up a little bit more, it's a new track layout this weekend, so plenty of thrills and spiels are about to come. First up, let's meet the judges, take a look at what drifting's all about, and check out the course layout. Let's go.
Drifting is motorsport meets extreme sport. Instead of being the first across the finish line, drivers are judged like in freestyle motocross or skateboarding. The judges outline the course and what they want to see, and during solo qualifying runs, drivers are assessed on that plus their line, speed and angle. The driver's qualifying score then determines who they go up against in the top 32 tandem battle eliminations. Drivers go head-to-head and they are then judged on their proximity and emulation. Basically, the aim is to drive as close to the car in front and copy or better their driving. Each driver gets a lead and follow run, and 3 judges choose a winner or a rerun. It makes for fierce racing, an action that can't be beat by any other motorsport. The Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix is the country's national series and where the best drifters come to prove who's number 1. For more info on judging, rules and the series, head to the website australiandriftinggp.com.
Now, before we take a look at the track and check out the judging criteria, let's have a look at the current points leaderboard in the closest championship we've ever had. There's a tad over 30 points separating the top 8 drivers, meaning any one of them is capable of taking the championship this weekend at the final round. Let's count them down, starting with the young gun, Matt Harvey from Tasmania, in the Kumo Tyres KE70 Corolla on 182 points. Only a couple of points ahead is Michael Prosnick in 7th place in the Supreme Caravans Racing V8 powered S13. In 6th place, Andreas Paraskevas, a local driver in the Just Car Insurance Insane Drifters 180SX. Equal 4th, it's Levi Clark from Queensland in the Exeter Racing Clutch V8 powered S15. Tied with him is Michael Rosenblatt in the Commodore Records V8 powered R32 on 190 points. In 3rd place, only a couple of points away on 194, is Nick Coulson, the Drift Kid, in the X-Force Performance Exhaust Achilles Radial VE Commodore Ute. In 2nd, from South Australia, it's Dale Campaign in the GH Haulage Nissan 1VR RB powered machine. And the championship leader, only 7 points away, is Rob White in the Achilles Motul 350Z. He's got his main car back from Formula Drift Asia with a sequential gearbox and 3.8 litre engine, so he's looking strong and hard to beat this weekend. Now it's time for the X-Force Performance Exhaust Track Tour, and we are on board with Nick Coulson, the Drift Kid, in the X-Force Performance Exhaust Achilles Radial VE Ute. As you can see, it's a full throttle run up to that entry point, run the wall, and then through the X-Force Performance Exhaust horseshoe into another wall on the infield, And then it's very tight into the Achilles radial hairpin and finish, blazing the tyres across the I Love Drift finish line. Okay, let's take a look at the judging criteria. The pace cones are there for during the battles. The cars have to stay side by side. Full throttle run up, throw it in, get on the wall as early as you can, and then you've got to be there at that first high-tech oils outer clipping zone, down the X-Force horseshoe into another outer clipping zone. The judges want to see full throttle through there as you come into the infield, then towards another outer clipping zone on the wall. And then you want to get back on the gas, make a nice snappy switch and transition out to an outer clipping zone before washing off the speed and coming into the Achilles radial hairpin, which has an inner clip on the way out, a little bit difficult to grab, and then full noise across the line. Our judges this weekend, Jared Klingberg from South Australia, Mitch Bunny from Western Australia, and Fernando Wheel from High Tech Drift School in New South Wales. Okay, let's check out the top 5 qualifiers, starting with Rob White in the Achilles Motul 350Z, sporting an all-new look for this weekend. Hayden Buckham stepped up his form this time, 4th place in the all-type crash VE Commodore Ute. In 3rd place, Dale Campaign, the GH Allage Nissan 1VR. He's off to a good start for his championship campaign this weekend. In 2nd place, Bo Yates, who is finally looking like he's got that Wings Nitro 86 dialed in, and it certainly is performing well. And number 1 qualifier is Jack Widdis in the GH Allage R31 Skyline from South Australia. Certainly shocking the establishment, proving his talent, and also proving that R31s can still drift with the best of them.
Went pretty well, came out on top, which I was pretty happy with. Didn't really think about it too much, just threw it in hard and went for gold. It's pretty daunting, pretty much just hope you don't go in too hard, but giving a little scrape's always good fun.
Well, this Calder Park layout's pretty cool, I guess. There's a lot of concrete around, and yeah, fortunately enough, the Toyota Wins 86 with the Nittos on the back was working pretty well in qualifying. We got nice and close to the wall, and the judges said it could have been a little bit better, but I think I got like a bit of a wheel off on the white line. But yeah, to qualify second, I'm really happy with that.
Now here is the rest of the top 10. Ben Patel took 6th place, Rosenblatt in 7th, Michael Prosnick in 8th, Josh Botcher in 9th, and Andreas Paraskevas in 10th place. Many of the drivers who are currently in the top 8 in the championship made it into the top 10 for qualifying, which is a good start for their championship campaign. Let's check out top 32 highlights now, and a big straighten up would earn John Papadopoulos a 0 and hand the win over to Chris Stolito in the GH Allage R33 Skyline. Matt Harvey qualified last due to a broken car on Saturday, meaning he'd have to go up against another driver in the top 8, Michael Prosnick, who would get the win and end Matt Harvey's championship campaign and obviously continue his. Kelly Wong had a big straighten up on the chase against Nick Coulson. She couldn't match his entry, but on her lead run, she put down a stellar lap. It was simply too little, too late, as Nick Coulson was able to put down another awesome, clean chase run and take the win. Our next pairing, Lane Brandis and Matt Russell. The Shockworks 86 has been a bit of a giant killer lately, and the spin from Lane Brandis on his chase enabled Matt Russell to take the win and go through to the top 16 once again. Our next pairing, Ryan Cummings, James Abbott. Abbott had a lot of dramas on Saturday but managed to find form on Sunday. Ryan Cummings, though, blew off an intercooler pipe and had a big straighten towards the end of the run, handed the win to James Abbott in the 3 Fingers Neat Bacchus Energy Drink S15. Harry Hopes has been stepping up his game and stepping up this car, but he just wasn't able to match the entry from Levi Clark coming in on his chase run. When they switched it around, Harry put down a solid lead run. The big straighten on his chase sealed the deal for Levi Clark, who took the win and continued his championship campaign into the top 16. Justin Coda and Michael Bonney had to go 2 reruns as each one took a turn at having a spin or a straighten. It was more of it again on this one. Coda had a straighten on his lead run, and then coming through on the chase, same again. So all Michael Bonney had to do was hold it together and he could take the win make his very first top 16 appearance this season in the C&D Motorworks S15. Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights from ADGP State. Pretty much all of the drivers that turned out were doing their second round for this season, trying to earn themselves an invite to next year's championship. A little bit of rain on Saturday made for some treacherous conditions, but there was still plenty of action in ADGP State. The competitors in state was Catherine May from I Love Drift, one of our series sponsors, and also the official clothing with ADGP. We caught up with her for a chat.
Hi, I'm Catherine May, founder and creator of I Love Drift. I Love Drift started about 4 years ago because there wasn't really a clothing brand out there for drifters. I think people obsess about drift, they live and breathe drift, so I think you'd want to wear that on a shirt. Well, yeah. I'm based in Melbourne, so we travel around to most of the Victorian events and also to some interstate events like ADGP. We have hoodies, t-shirts, stickers, a whole lot of accessories like reservoir covers, cable ties, a whole lot of drift-related things. My husband Yoshi's involved, and I also have a great team of girls that help me out at events, so they run the trade stand so I can drive.
Number one qualifier in state was Chris Day, who made the trek all the way from Western Australia. He put on a smoke show for the crowd in the number one spot, however was knocked out in the top 8, meaning he finished the weekend in 5th place. Let's head now into the action in the ADGP State Battle for 3rd, the finals. Jason Ferron in the R31 up against Brad Toohey in the Prestige Tyre and Auto Achilles S13. Brad, a bit of a messy entry there on the way in. Hits that outer clip coming through the X-Force horseshoe, a little bit shallow on his line coming through the middle section of the track. Now out to that last outer clip. That big straighten though, you'll see him lose quite a lot of points. Switch it around now. Jason Ferron will lead Nangkang R31 Skyline. He was in attendance at round 2. He's already earned himself an invite for next year along with Brad Toohey. But Brad's struggling a little bit on the chase run. There's another big straighten up, loses the drift and throws that run away. That means Jason Ferron will take 3rd place here in ADGP State for round 4. In the finals now, Brent Gordon, another competitor all the way from WA in the PSA ski boats, 186 up against Chris Frome. He took out 3rd in the last round. A little bit uneasy on the entry there from Brent Gordon. Chris Frome manages to keep it steady, keep it nice and smooth on that chase. Chris Frome will come away with the advantage after that run. Chris Frome's developed his driving a lot in the last 12 months in that Good Ride R34, and after a podium finish at round 2, he now already has a guaranteed licence for next season. But Brent Gordon spins and throws it away. That means Chris Frome can sail through and take the win in ADGP State in the Good Ride. Tsunami Motorsports R34 Skyline down from Queensland. Chris Frome collecting the silverware at the trophy presentation, taking 1st place at 2 podiums in a row. Brent Gordon takes 2nd place all the way from Western Australia, and Jason Ferron 3rd place in the Nangkang R31.
Don't go anywhere as the action's about to step up a notch as we head into the top 16 tandem battles here at round 4 of the Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix.
Welcome back to round 4 of the Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix at the Calder Park Thunderdome in Victoria. The top 16 drivers parade right now, a chance to introduce all of the guys to the crowd. And the top 16 tandem battles are about to get underway, and this championship is about to be decided. Almost every single battle affects the championship in one way or another, and our first pairing is teammates Jack Widders and Chris Solito in the GH Haulage team from South Australia. Jack Widders qualified in #1 spot in the R31 Skyline. His teammate, Chris Solito. Some drivers enjoy going up against their teammate as they know each other's driving style, but one of them will be sent packing after this. Widders throws it in big and early, nearly runs wide, just gets one tyre on the dirt. Solito doing everything he can to keep up, putting on a pretty good chase so far. Needs to be a little bit closer if he wants to have a clear advantage. A little bit of angle coming out of that last corner. Jack Widders will have maybe the most ever so slight advantage if it wasn't for that tyre under the dirt. Let's see what happens when they switch it around. Solito leads. Good entry from Solito, threw it in early. Widders is there. Solito goes a little bit shallow through the X-Force horseshoe, now coming into the Achilles radial hairpin. Widders dives in there but straightens up and loses the grip. An uncharacteristic mistake for Jack Widders. Dives in after that transition, straightens out, and he hands the win over to Chris Solito for his first top 8 appearance.
Yeah, just that is amazing. Stoked as. I mean, Jack qualifying #1, that was always going to be a big run. Me and Jack have had some wicked runs all the way through our year. I guess it's all, bad luck, and luckily the luck's come my way, so stoked, amazed. Thanks to everyone that's been watching as well.
All right, Michael Prosnick and Josh Botcher go head-to-head now. Prosnick is a championship contender, and these guys have battled before. At round 1 at Malala, Prosnick came out on top before heading to second place. Botcher took third. Botcher looking to get back on a podium at this round, and he's being very aggressive. He throws it in big on Prosnick. He runs a little bit wide there towards the end of that entry, but he's now back on it to get nice and close to Prosnick, coming into the Achilles radial hairpin and now across the I Love Drift finish line. That is a battle, ladies and gentlemen. Let's switch it around now. Prosnick, can he chase as well as Botcher did? That is the question. They throw it in. Prosnick not able to get as close coming into the X-Force Performance Exhaust horseshoe, and now he's pushing hard, getting closer. But what's this? Botcher straightens out, loses the drift. Wasn't a car issue. Let's go to the Achilles radial replay. Switches back. Sounds like the engine bogs down, and he straightens out and hands the win straight to Michael Prosnick.
Pretty damn stoked. Yeah. I want to do some skids. Let's go.
Another championship contender, Nick Coulson in the X-Force Achilles VE. And it's the battle of the Utes. He's up against Hayden Buckham, who qualified 4th in the all-top crash VE. He's in top form this weekend. Will he put an end to Nick Coulson's championship campaign? Buckham throws it in. Coulson's there. Now starting to move in closer and closer on his chase run. They switch out now to the last outer clip. A little bit of a dirt drop there from Buck, a little bit messy. Coulson uses that to his advantage to get a little bit closer on that last Achilles radial hairpin. Slight advantage going to Nick Coulson. He gave a solid chase. Coulson, full speed on the run-up, throws it big and early. Buckham can't match him on the entry into the X-Force horseshoe. Starting to close it a little bit now as they come out to the infield section. Now the last outer clip, but it's too little too late for Buckham, we think. Not able to match the angle or get as close to the hairpin. Let's go to the replay. You can see here that Coulson gave a great chase. Buckham didn't make any real major mistakes other than the dirt drop. Coulson just did it better, did it closer, and gave the crowd and the judges exactly what they wanted to see and got the win.
Yeah, good. Hayden's very consistent. Was a bit nervous going up against him, but I was on his door, and yeah, they gave the win to me.
The championship leader, Rob White, up against Matt Russell in the Shockworks AE86. Matt Russell has had some big kills this weekend in that giant slaying machine. Rob White would need to be on his toes if he wants to take the win. He throws it big and early. Russell not able to quite match it to begin with, but now he's locked on and pushing closer and closer in that infield section. They come into the Achilles radial hairpin, and Russell is right there taking the fight to the end. Judges saying no major advantage, maybe slightly to Matt Russell. It was close in the second half of the run. But Rob White was superior on the entry. Now we turn it around. Russell throws it in right out to the edge and he puts the wheel off. That is a point deduction for Matt Russell in the Shockworks 86. Rob White throws it at that last hairpin to get closer. But I tell you what, Matt Russell was looking like he may have had a win in the bag up until that point. A wheel off has brought it back the other way. And we're going to see, by the narrowest of margins, a win for Rob White.
Look, Matt did a really good chase run behind me. I was, I saw him there and I looked, oh wow, he's right there. So I knew I had to do a really good chase run on my end, and I think he dropped the wheel off the dirt and made a little mistake. So, it allowed us to get a bit closer and get the win. So well done, and I thought it was a really good lap by Matt. He did really well.
Now, James Abbott and Ben Patel, both of these guys in 2JZ powered Nissans, they had to go a double rerun. In their first rerun, Patel spun on his lead, and then when they spun it around, Abbott did the same thing, so it was 10-0 each way. Let's check out the second rerun now. Patel leads on the first one in the GT Garage Achilles 180SX from Tasmania. Full throttle, throws it big and early. Jabbett answers the call, starts to close in through the horseshoe. Pretty even run so far from these drivers. Jabbett getting a little bit closer now, coming to that last corner. Tiny bit of a dirt drop, but it wasn't a wheel completely off. Judges saying no major advantage to either driver after that run, so it's a little bit like their first battle. Hard to pick. Jabbett throws it in big. Patel very aggressive, throwing it in there. Has a little bit of a correction as he comes into the horseshoe. Now they switch into the last corner, the Achilles radial hairpin, and another great close battle between these two drivers. On a second rerun, though, the judges have to pick a winner. They said it was very close between these two, only fractions of a point, but the win is going to go to James Abbott.
Oh man, what a run! I don't know. After throwing it away on that first run, I had to work for it the second time. Love battling against Ben. He's a great driver. I don't know, a bit of a brain fart, had a Bacchus energy drink, put me back in the seat, and got it in the end. It was good.
Well, two championship contenders going head-to-head early. Dale Campaign and Levi Clark. Dale currently in second in the championship. Levi equal fourth. Both have a shot at it. One of them is going to end their championship campaign right now. Dale throws it in big, great entry, but Levi answers the call, although Campaign cuts in early off the bank and takes a shallow line through the horseshoe. Levi, though, is still able to stay with him and put down a great chase lap. That mistake will mean an advantage goes to Levi Clark, so Campaign needs to step up the chase even more if he wants to take this win back. He's a little bit lazy throwing on the angle in that entry. What can he do now coming out of the X-Force horseshoe? We'll see what happens. They switch, hit that last outer clip. Campaign straightens out a little bit there coming out of the last corner. Levi Clark already had the advantage after Campaign cut early into the horseshoe. And then when they switched it around, Campaign has a little straighten up coming to the last corner, and his championship is over.
Yeah, no, it was a close run. Like, we both had to put it to each other, and yeah, it was just lucky that I had the luck on the day, and well done to him. He's a great driver, and it's good to put it to him.
Another championship deciding battle early on. Michael Rosenblatt in the Commodore Wreckers R32 up against Andreas Paraskevas in the Just Car Insurance 180 SX. Full throttle the whole way to the entry. Rosenblatt throws it in big and early, winds on some extra angle at the end, and Agus can't match it. Puts two wheels over the white line and gets a 0. Wow, that was a big entry from Rosenblatt, using the amount of angle that car can hold to his advantage. At the last minute, he wound on some extra angle to wash off speed. Rosenblatt has a big advantage now after Agus went off track. Agus is going to have to hope for a miracle. He throws it in full speed. Rosenblatt's a little bit late winding on the angle, but he gets in there and locks in through the X-Force horseshoe. Very aggressive on the chase. He could just take it easy and hang back, but that wouldn't be as fun. And Agus spins it around in the hairpin, and that is the nail in the coffin. Let's head to the replay. Rosenblatt already had the advantage 10-0, but he gave a solid chase anyway. Nice and close to the X-Force horseshoe. Now they switch to coming to the last hairpin, and Agus spins it around, throws it away. His championship is finished.
Oh, I'm stoked. It's really good. You know, we haven't been on the podium yet this year, and we've still been a chance for the championship, so it'd be good to finish it on a high note and get on that podium.
Michael Bonney in his first top 16 appearance this season in the C&D Motorworks S15 up against Bo Yates, who finally looks like he has the Toyota 86 dialed in. He did say he'd need a bit of development this year so he could be at one with the car, but look at that entry. Bo Yates has certainly found his groove in that machine. Michael Bonney had a big straighten on the entry, and Bo Yates on another pretty much textbook lead run wins the Nitto 86. Another straight from Bonney through the Achilles radial hairpin. Bo Yates will have a comfortable advantage going into the second run. Bonney banging through that Hollinger gearbox in that S15. Puts a tyre off, straightens out. Bo Yates just needs to hold it together on a clean run if he wants to take the win in this battle. And he's able to do so into that last Achilles radial hairpin, past the I Love the finish line. Bo Yates will take the win. Look at that, massive entry. Michael Bonney can't match it, has a straighten out coming into the X-Force horseshoe. Doing everything he can to try and keep up with Bo Yates. That 8.6 is dialed. He will get the win and head through to the top 8.
Yeah, well, I think that's my first top 8 now in the new car, and I mean, there's still Nitto tyres flying around everywhere in here, but the car's feeling good, and I'm just really happy for the team, you know, Wins and Toyota and Nitto and everyone on board this year, because they've really stuck by me through the hard times at the start, but the car's working well towards the end of the year. It's a little too late, but I'm just extremely happy to be in the top 8 here this weekend.
Some serious talent now coming into the top 8. Chris Salito surprising everyone though with his first top 8 appearance, and Bo Yates is looking like he could be the thorn in the side of some of these championship contenders. First one up is Michael Prosnick up against Chris Salito. Prosnick will lead. The nitrous-fed V8 powered Supreme Caravans S13 full throttle, throws it in big. Salito a little bit lazy, winding on the angle to begin with. Cuts into the horseshoe to try and get nice and close. Keeping up with Prosnick isn't easy. Chris Salito runs wide there in the dirt and loses ground. And will hand an advantage to Prosnick. His chase was looking pretty good up until that point. But he just went a little bit too wide, washed off too much speed. Now Prosnick has the advantage coming in on his chase run. Good entry from Salito, had a tiny little correction as he came off the bank. Prosnick's right there though, putting on a good chase. Dives in on that last Achilles radial hairpin. He's right there. Take the win. Let's have a look at the replay. You can see here that when Salito dived in, he almost completely lost the drift and handed a pretty decent advantage to Prosnick. And then when they switched it around, Prosnick was able to put on a great chase, a little bit of contact, rubbing, racing and drifting. It didn't affect his line, so Prosnick gets the win.
I'm so stoked. Drag race off the line, you know, I stuffed up, but come back around, had a bit of contact, really tight battles, happy with the result. Let's try and get a podium.
First and third in the championship batch go head-to-head now. Rob White and Nick Coulson. They've gone at it many times in their drifting career, and they're pretty even lately in who gets the wins. Both of them more than capable. Rob White, big high-speed entry. But what's this? He runs wide, goes completely off the track. That is a 0. And Nick Coulson will have a 10-0 advantage after that uncharacteristic mistake from Rob White. He just entered way too big, way too hot, and threw that battle away. Nick Coulson has a serious shot at the championship here. If Rob White loses, he will have to sit on the sideline and see how it all unfolds. He's going to have to hope for a miracle now if he wants a chance. Oh, a little correction from Rob White there on the entry, chasing Coulson into that X-Force Performance Exhaust horseshoe. He's very aggressive towards the end of the run, applying the pressure, but Nick Coulson keeps his cool, even with a little bit of contact there. And he makes it through, solid run. Great chase by Rob, but it's too little too late after he went off on his lead lap. Coulson did well to hold it together and continue that run. He gets the win and through to the top 4.
Look, I knew this was going to be the for Rob, championship decider for Rob, and to take it out on top, it's just a really good feeling. Rob put it to me, and then he just overcooked a little bit onto the first corner.
Well, there's still a championship contender in every pairing in the top 8. Levi Clark in the Exeter Racing S15 V8 powered machine has a shot at the title, especially now that Rob White has been knocked out. He's up against James Abbott in the Three Fingers Neat Bacchus Energy Drink S15. Throws it in big. Levi Clark able to answer the call. He's on a good chase so far to come out of the X-Force Horseshoe. Switch back now to that last outer clipping point. But Jabbett runs wide, makes contact with the wall and straightens out. Levi had to back out of it to avoid a collision, so that is a 10-0 advantage to Levi Clark. James Abbott hit the wall, straightened out, lost the drift. If you completely lose drift, you do get a 0. Abbott nice and close on the run-up, a little bit too close, loses the front bar. Entertaining stuff here in the top 8. Jabbett putting down a great chase run now though, but it's a little too late after the 0 on the first run. But now he's giving us exactly what the judges and crowd want to see. Levi Clark has done it. His championship stays alive. You can see here on the Achilles radial replay, Jabbett just threw it in a bit too deep into the hairpin, made contact with the wall, straightened out. But Jabbett gave us a great chase run, which you can see here in the Sony Action Cam replay.
Yeah, Jabs really put it to me. I think he touched me in that last corner there, but he had a bit of a straighten through the middle section, so yeah, we got the win.
Rosenblatt is the championship contender, but Bo Yates is looking like a thorn in the side of everyone who was in the hunt for the championship. This was one of the most controversial and talked about battles of the weekend. Rosenblatt, on his first lap, gave us probably the best chase run of the season, right up on Bo Yates' door, especially on that last corner. When they switched it around, Rosenblatt had a few corrections on his entry. It was a little bit messy. The judges wanted to see it all again. And the second time around, Rosenblatt gave us more of the same, right up on Bo Yates' door for most of the course. Nearly rubbing on that last corner, showing total control. But when they switched it around, Rosenblatt tagged the wall, straightened out, and then put a tyre off. And that sent the advantage back the other way, so they had to do it one more time again. So this is their second rerun. Bo Yates leads, throws it in big, another great entry, but Rosenblatt has a big mistake, straightens out on the entry following Bo Yates in. He's gathered himself back up now and he's nice and close, door to door, coming into the last corner. We could watch these guys go all day with runs like that. No big advantage going either way. Rosenblatt had that big correction coming into the first corner, which counteracted his proximity through the rest of the course. But what's this? Rosenblatt throws it in too big. It's off the track and he gets a 0. Bo Yates had no real choice. He was following him in, but Rosenblatt went right off and throws it away. Let's go to the Achilles radial replay now. You can see on the entry, Rosenblatt has a big correction. The wheels are straight there. He manages to re-initiate the drift and get right up on Bo Yates' door. That mistake on the entry cost him the advantage, even though he was that close on the second half of the run. And then when they switched it around, Rosenblatt just threw it in too big, went off the track. Bo Yates is through.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. I mean, unfortunate for Mick, you know, he's been driving awesome all weekend, and I guess I've been told those battles are the best of the weekend, so, you know, I take my hat off to him. He's an exceptional driver, and he didn't even touch my door or anything, so, you know, there's a lot of courtesy out there as well, and I take my hat off to him. I hope I haven't spoiled his championship or whatever, but we're just running hard, and I'm really stoked for Toyota and Wins and Nitto, and top 4 finish this weekend for me in my final round means a lot, so thanks.
Welcome back to round 4 of the Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix. It is the final round, the championship decider. And so far, it's been topsy-turvy as we continue this year of the blender. We're into the top 4 very shortly. It's not long now till we find out who will take home the championship. Well, into the top 4 now, and how's this for pressure? If Coulson wins this, he will automatically move ahead of Rob White in the championship. Although Levi Clark on the other side of the battle tree, he wins the entire event, he will win the championship. So the pressure is on for both these drivers. Prosnik leads. Big entry from Prosnik. Coulson gives chase. He wasn't quite able to match the angle on the entry, but he's starting to close in now on the second half of the run into the Achilles radial hairpin, pushing very hard. But there's some contact there. We can see it better from this angle. Coulson dives in, gets a wheel over the white line, makes contact, and then 2 wheels over the white line. That hands the advantage to Prosnik in a big way. Nick Coulson may have just thrown his championship away with that run. He throws it in big. Prosnik's a little bit late trying to match the angle coming into the X-Force horseshoe. Prosnik nice and aggressive now in the infield. They switch to that last Achilles radial hairpin. Past the I Love Drift finish line, Prosnik. Great chase. Let's go to the replay now to see what happened on that first run. Coulson, a little bit late winding on the angle to catch back up to Prosnik, who threw down a big high-speed entry. He starts to lock on the infield section, but he cuts here, does 1 wheel over the white line, makes contact, and then 2 wheels over the white line. You see it here in slow motion. You can see at the moment of impact, Prosnik may have slowed down slightly, but his wheels are still on opposite lock. Therefore, he is still drifting, and the contact is the fault of Coulson, who then puts 2 wheels over the white line before the finish line. As per the regs, that is a 0. That means Prosnik had a big advantage coming into the second run. He was a bit late winding on the angle as well, but caught back up to Coulson coming off the bank and gave us a great chase run. He already had the win in the bag, but wanted to put on a show. Coulson is now out. He no longer has a shot at the championship, but we'll need to wait and see how it unfolds to see where exactly he finishes up in the points. Prosnik is through to the finals.
It's getting easier and easier. I'm calming down a little bit. That was a very tough battle. I'm happy to go through and we'll try and get it first.
How's this for pressure? If Levi Clark wins this and then gets second, he will be tied for first place. And if he wins the event overall, he will take home the championship. Bo Yates proving to be a thorn in the side of many of these championship contenders. Bo Yates throws it in big. Levi's right there though, not as much angle on that entry, but great proximity. This is another stellar run from these 2 drivers. Levi Clark is pushing very hard on the back of Bo Yates, but he makes contact on the last corner and straightens out. We'll have to wait for the replay to see exactly what happened, but that contact and straighten up from Levi hands a big advantage over to Bo Yates. He's still pushing hard though, nice and close on the run-up. They both throw it in early. Keeps an angle from Levi, but he puts a wheel off the track and then runs on the infield of the course, goes over the white line, scores a 0. That will hand the win straight to Bo Yates. We're on board with the Sony action cams now. As you can see, Bo Yates throws it in big. Levi Clark, great job on the chase. Excellent proximity, up nice and close, exactly what the judges want to see. He was pushing hard, but it all went wrong here. He got a little bit too close. Bo Yates made a little bit of a correction there. Levi, bit of contact and straightened out. And then on Levi's lead run, he gets 2 wheels off. As per the regs, that is a 0. That also straightened him out, and then 4 wheels off in the infield. That is the nail in the coffin. Bo Yates gets the win. He is through to his first final this season. Levi Clark's championship campaigns are now over, which means Rob White can still keep his championship. Let's see how it unfolds in the finals.
I'm just extremely, pumped for the guys. The team wins, Nitto. Toyota, obviously, this car is it's a brand new car. So I'm just really excited to be back up the front. I took a big break from the sport for a little bit, and I'm just stoked to be back up the top again.
Well, in between the top 4 and the finals as they get ready to battle, we put on a grudge match for a little bit of fun. What more fun can you have than the insane drifters going head to head? Papa and Agus put on a smoke show for the crowd.
Yeah, so I got nominated for a grudge match, and of course I had to pair me up against my teammate Agus. So we got to go out and have a little bit of fun. We weren't really trying to beat each other. We just wanted to put on a show for the crowd, have a bit of fun, do a couple of skids off the line, that sort of stuff. It was good. It is the best thing to beat Agus at anything because he hates it. So to take it out over him is one up, and I'll be hearing about it for ages.
Well, here it is, finals time. This is the battle for 3rd place. It looks like Rob White's championship is secure. However, the rest of the top 5 is still yet to be decided. So let's get this battle for 3rd place underway. Nick Coulson leads. Levi Clark gives chase. A couple little corrections on the entry there from Coulson. That enables Levi Clark to push in. Another great battle from these two Queenslanders. But Levi Clark cuts the corner. Gets one wheel over the white line coming into the last corner. That's a deduction. It may have even been 2. We'll have to wait for the replay. But that's going to hand an advantage over to Nick Coulson in the X-Force Achilles Radial VE Ute. What can Levi Clark do in that XP Racing S15 on his lead run? He throws it in. Great entry from Levi. Big angle. Coulson, though, was able to do a good job on the proximity to match that. Wasn't quite able to match the initial angle, but was able to get nice and close. Keeps good proximity through that last corner. Let's head to the Achilles Radial replay now on board with Sony Action Cam. You can see Nick Coulson, a couple of little corrections on his entry there, gathers himself back up. Levi's right there for a great chase run, but this is where it all goes wrong for Levi. He loses a bit of speed, cuts the last corner. Judges said it was 2 wheels off, which was a 0 for Levi Clark. As he cut that last corner, you can see it here, 2 wheels over the white line. And that pretty much handed the win straight to Nick Coulson. He will end up in 3rd place for this final round. Let's head straight into the finals now. Bo Yates and Michael Prosnick. Bo Yates doesn't have a shot at the title, but Prosnick still has a chance to move up the leaderboard into 2nd place if he wins this. The championship being decided all the way down until the last run. This is the way we like to end the season. Bo Yates throws it in big angle. Prosnick not able to match the angle, but had good proximity, so sometimes they can cancel each other out a little bit. Prosnick dives in on Bo Yates in that last corner, cuts a bit of a shallow line, doesn't go out to that outer clip. Oh, that looked like one wheel over the white line from Prosnick coming out of that last corner as well. The judges have given the advantage to Bo Yates. We'll have to wait for the replay and see everything. Prosnick leads now, big high-speed, full throttle entry. Hasn't got as much angle as Bo did, but Bo's not as close on his chase in that section of the track. He's closer here. And now Prosnick uses the angle to wash off the speed into that last Achilles Radial hairpin for a great lead run. Let's go to the Achilles Radial replay now on board with the Sony Action Cam with Prosnick. As you can see, he hasn't got as much angle as Bo Yates, but he's sacrificed angle to get good proximity. They can cancel each other out a little bit. He does cut an inside line here. He doesn't follow Bo out to that outer clip. and then looks like one wheel off here on that white line on the last corner. So even though he was very aggressive and very close, little mistakes from Prosnik gave the advantage to Bo Yates after the first run. So he dove in, one tyre over. Now let's head to the trophy presentation to see who our winner is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 4 of the Just Car Insurance Australian Drift Grand Prix is Bo Yates!
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the final round, Bo Yates in the Wins Nixo 8.6. In second place, Michael Prosnik in the Supreme Caravans Racing S13. And rounding out the podium is Nick Coulson in the Achilles Radial X-Force Performance Exhaust via Ute. Trophy celebrations now to make that complete, some victory burnouts.
Finally, I'm just really excited with this weekend. I mean, everyone knows how hard I've worked on this new car to get it back up to the top where it deserves to be, and you know, to qualify second and finish first this weekend, I'm beside myself. It hasn't really settled in yet, but you know, amongst the guys in the pits and my pit crew and stuff, like there's a bit of a buzz, so I'm really excited. The battles with Rosenblatt for me was probably a highlight of the weekend. He was pushing extremely hard, and I don't know what happened in the finals. It all happened so quick, and before you know it, they're announcing the winner. But you know, for me, ADGP obviously is where I want to be next year and give it a better crack. So, you know, I'm going to use this high and roll into next year and just see where the new car takes us.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this today. We went hard. The boys really performed, kept the car going. Very solid competition, to be honest. And yeah, we're really stoked. Yeah, we're going to prep the car, or maybe build a new car. We'll come out with something bigger and better.
Oh, feeling stoked. To get third place is awesome. Gives me those little bit more points for the championship, so it's great.
Well, let's take a look at the top 10 for this round. Rob White ended up in 5th place, Rosenblatt in 6th, James Abbott took 7th place, Chris Solito, his best finish this year, in 8th, Jack Widders in 9th, and Dale Campaign rounds out the top 10. How did that affect the championship? Rob White held on by the skin of his teeth. 6 points separated him from Nick Coulson, who took 2nd. Prosnik moved into 3rd place for the season. Levi Clark holds on to 4th. Rosenblatt into 5th. He was tied with Dale Campaign, their qualifying scores determining their order. Agus takes 7th, Purtell in 8th, Widders in 9th, and Abbott rounds out the top 10. Full results on our website, AustralianDriftingGP.com.
We won the championship. Probably not the way we wanted to win it, but we won it. You know, Look, I'm proud of the team, and I'm proud of, you know, everything we've done this year still. You know, absolutely. We're 100%, you know, we tried our hardest, we committed. We really wanted to back up the championship. We wanted to do it in style today. We didn't. You know, I made a silly error in the top 8 against Coulson. Yeah, I love doing victory burnouts. I think that's what I was most devastated when I stuffed it up against Coulson. I was like, damn, I really want to do it. I was really happy to finish on, you know, doing a big burnout. And, you know, I would have popped the tyres, but the people were going like this to me with ADGP shirts on, so... No, really fun, really cool. You know, it's been a great year. I look forward to bigger and better things next season.
Moving forward to next season and some big changes. ADGP has partnered with Power Cruise for round 1 and round 4, so that means even more entertainment and value for money for spectators. Round 2 and 3 at Calder Park and Malala will be day-night events with the top 16 entertainment all happening under lights, making for a better show for the crowd. We will see you at round 1 at Barbagallo Raceway in Western Australia in October.